Hey, cleared professionals, welcome back to Beyond the Badge. Today, we're talking about something that affects every single one of you, whether you're actively job hunting right now or just keeping your options open. We're talking about your resume. And before you check out thinking that you've got this whole thing handled, stick with me for a second because I've seen resumes from engineers with every clearance level, people with 15 years of experience, people who are genuinely talented and mission critical on their programs, and their resume, it's costing them opportunities that they don't even know that they're missing. So today, we're breaking down the most common resume mistakes cleared professionals make, what you should be doing instead, and one thing that is unique to our world that most resume advice out there completely ignores. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, and this is specific to us, to the cleared community. Your clearance needs to be at the top of your resume, and it needs to say whether it's active, not buried in a skills section as I've seen countless resumes have, not listed as an afterthought at the bottom where you have your education and certifications listed. At the top, right under your name and your contact information. Make it bold, make it prominent. And here's exactly how it should read. Active TSSCI with a polygraph, or active TSSCI, or active secret. Whatever your level is, it needs to be there, and it needs to be accurate. And it needs to say active if it's active. Here's why this matters so much in our world. Recruiters and hiring managers in the cleared space are not reading your resume the same way a commercial recruiter reads one. The first thing that they're doing is checking your clearance level, okay? Because if you don't have what the contract requires, the conversation is over before it even starts. And if your clearance is active and you don't say that, you're creating doubt and you're making them work harder to figure out something that should be immediately obvious. Active clearances are valuable. Treat them like the asset that they are. Lead with it. Put it front and center. Now, if your clearance is inactive, meaning that you've been out of the cleared world for a little while, be honest about that too. You can note the level that you held when it was last active. Recruiters can work with that, but what they can't work with is confusion. Okay, now let's talk about the resume itself. The first big mistake that I see all the time is using the wrong template. And I get it. You go on Canva or one of those resume sites and there are these beautiful, visually impressive templates with columns and graphics and color blocks, and it looks professional. It's amazing, right? But here's the problem. Those templates are designed by graphic designers, not by recruiters, not by people who understand how applicant tracking systems, the ATS, actually parse your information. And in the cleared world, you are almost always going through an ATS before a human ever sees your resume. Whether it's a big defense contractors portal or a government hiring system, your resume is getting scanned before it gets read. So if your template is confusing the system, the ATS will do the best that it can. But if the human on the other end sees it and it looks confusing, you've just missed a key window of opportunity to get that call. Keep it simple, keep it to one column, clean font, no graphics, no color blocks, basic colors. Okay, you're black, dark blue, maybe dark green. Boring is good here. Boring gets through the system. Next mistake. Your contact information is formatted horizontally and embedded in the header. This sounds like a small thing, but it matters, right? ATS systems read things vertically much better than they do horizontally. So if your name, email, phone number, and location are all in one line separated by little dividers or dots, the system may not parse it correctly. Even worse, not read it because it is part of the header, and I've worked with ATSs that don't do the best job of parsing that information into a profile for you. Stack it vertically, name on one line, phone on the next, and email below that. City and state below that as well. Simple, clean, readable by both machines and humans. Okay? Now, here's the one that I think hits the hardest for cleared professionals. Specifically, stop summarizing your entire career and start profiling for the specific role that you want. Here's what I mean. Most people write their resume like a biography. Here's everything that I've ever done. Here's every project I've ever touched. Here's every tool I've ever used. And the hiring manager is sitting there trying to figure out if you're the right fit for their specific program, their specific contract, and their specific mission need. You have to make that easy for them. You have to look at the job posting, understand what they actually need, and then build your resume to reflect exactly that. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. but I can't talk about what I've actually done. My work is classified. Valid. But here's the thing, okay? You can still describe the nature of your work, the scale of the environment, the technologies that you used, and the outcomes that you drove without compromising anything. Instead of supported classified program operations, which absolutely tells me nothing, try something like administered Linux systems in a high security, air gapped environment supporting a 200-person intelligence community program. That tells me something. That gives me context and that shows fit, okay? You don't need to name the program. You don't need to name the customer, but you do need to give enough detail that a recruiter can see themselves placing you, okay? Next, stop being so wordy. I see resumes in this community that are walls of texts, paragraphs under every job, long sentences, dense blocks that make your eyes just glaze over just looking at them, okay? I look at this and I know that if I call that person, I'm going to be on that phone call for a very long time, okay? Recruiters are giving your resume maybe 5 seconds on the first pass. 5 seconds. If they can't find what they're looking for quickly, they're moving on. Use bullet points, keep them tight, lead with action verbs, and cut anything that doesn't directly support the role that you're going after. If a bullet point doesn't make you look more qualified for that specific job, I would cut it. And while we're cutting things here, cut the fluffy generic language. Team player, strong communicator, detail-oriented, results-driven. Every single resume says this. It means nothing, okay? It takes up space and it makes some recruiters roll their eyes. Instead, I would recommend that you show it. Don't say that you're a strong communicator. Describe a situation where your communication drove a result. Don't say that you're detail-oriented. Show the kind of environment you operated in where attention to detail was mission critical, okay? Actions and outcomes. That's what lands. And one more thing, and this one's about customization because I know that it's this whole thing that we're talking about right now. All of this is very tedious, and I know it takes more time, but if you're applying to multiple positions and sending the same resume every single time, you are competing at a disadvantage. The cleared market is really, really competitive, okay? Especially for the roles that offer remote work or the higher paying positions at the 3-letter agencies. There are hundreds of qualified candidates going after the same roles. Customization is your edge. It's the thing that most people won't do. In fact, you may still not do this after watching this podcast, which means that if you do it, you're going to stand out. Look at the job posting, mirror the language, highlight the specific skills and experience that they're asking for. Make it easy for the recruiter to say yes. Use AI, of course, right? I feel like we're kind of beating a dead horse with that piece of advice. But when I say use AI, I say use it to brainstorm your thoughts and ideas. Don't just copy what it gives you because you think it sounds good, right? Companies are starting to tell which resumes are using AI, even down to the applications that they're requiring you to complete. Let's go back to trusting how we write our resumes. Use AI to your advantage, sure. Just don't make it how you communicate your skills on your resume. Be authentic is what I'm really trying to get at here. All right? And the last thing that I'll leave you with is this. If your resume isn't getting results, change it. That sounds obvious, but I see people send the same resume for months and wonder why they're not getting calls. If it's not working, it's not working. Adjust it. Get feedback. Try a different approach. Your clearance is valuable. Your experience is valuable. Your resume just needs to reflect that clearly enough for the right person to see it in 5 seconds or less. All right, that's a wrap on this episode of Beyond the Badge. If this helped you, share it with a fellow cleared professional who's in the job market or thinking about making a move, because a lot of talented people in our community are getting passed over not because of their skills, but because of how they're presenting them on paper. Connect with me on LinkedIn, follow us on YouTube, or catch us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Just search Beyond the Badge on those platforms. I'll see you next time.